Hello, welcome to Montgomery's Kitchen. I'm the chef and host James Montgomery Anderson. This past weekend I spent some time down in Philadelphia with some good friends of mine and would like to give a huge shout out to Aunt Barb and Uncle Bob, Ben, and Anthony for their generous hospitality and introducing me to the area and some of the local cuisine, and of course, Wawa. This episode was inspired by you. One of the most talked about things on my trip was the Holy Philadelphia cheesesteak. And although we talked about it constantly, I never actually got to order one, which is kind of a bummer. But luckily, after picking the brains of everyone I crossed in Philly, I brought to life the fabled cheesesteak here in Montgomery's Kitchen. I don't claim to be a professional, but I hope I've done Philadelphia proud. Let's get it on. First things first, you're going to want to have clean hands, your cutting board, and a sharp knife handy. For our steak, I've decided to use a cut we have here at Bell's, the flat iron. It's a very lean and very tender cut from the front shoulder that has no waste to it whatsoever. I like to use the flat iron for a myriad of different things, but it's going to work excellent for our Philly cheesesteak. Now, with a sharp kitchen knife, you're going to want to slice the flat iron across the grain as thin as possible. However, if you're nice to your butchers and give them a call ahead of time, they could have the steak prepared for you and save you all the mess. Once your flat iron is sliced, we're going to quarter it. We're going to cut it against the grain, and this will increase our steak to cheese ratio, and I'm about that life. No Philly cheesesteak goes without veggies, so we'll need to chop 1 green pepper, a Spanish onion, your favorite mushroom of choice, and 2 finely chopped cloves of garlic. Once everything's chopped, we'll need to get a large skillet to a medium-high heat with roughly 2 tablespoons of butter. And once our butter is melted completely, it's time to start adding everything we chopped earlier. While cooking, you want to constantly be stirring so that the steak will cook evenly and the flavors of the peppers, onion, mushrooms, and garlic all blend together. It shouldn't take any more than 10 minutes at a higher heat. You could cook the meat and vegetables in separate skillets, but I would prefer to cook them all in one because the flavors blend together more easily. And there's only one skillet to clean when you're done cooking. That's pretty convenient if you ask me. Now all the ingredients are added, you want to keep them moving. The peppers and the onions might take a little bit longer to cook, but it'll all come together in the end. Now that it's looking like we're getting somewhere, let's add some seasonings. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of the Oak Grove Creole seasoning salt. You can pick some up here at Bell's if you haven't already. It's an excellent seasoning to add to whatever you're cooking. Now blend this together and continue cooking. Once everything is cooked to where you like it, it's time to add some liquid ingredients. We're going to start off with a half teaspoon of hot sauce. You could add another half teaspoon of hot sauce if you like it a little spicier. That also depends on the hot sauce you use. A good shot of Carolina Reaper hot sauce is guaranteed to get you feeling it the next day, or this is just Frank's Red Hot. We're also going to add 1 whole tablespoon of Dale steak sauce. It'll give our cheesesteak a little of a smoky taste. You can get Dale's here as Bell's as well. After you blend the liquid ingredients in, it's time to add the cheese. I've got about a half pound of thinly sliced white Cooper here, which is very similar to an American, and you can use that instead if you'd like. Also have about a 1/4 pound of the Bell's smoked provolone to add even more of a smoky flavor to our cheesesteaks. You want to let this sit on top and melt a little bit before we blend this together. Now the cheese is melted some, get to stirring. You can start to see the true colors of our cheesesteak coming together. The caramelized onion, the seared steak, and all that glorious gooey cheese. So good and tasty. This cheesesteak's gonna be a banger, man. But there's one last crucial piece to the cheesesteak puzzle, and arguably the most important. It's the roll. I picked up these rolls fresh at Silvio's Deli in Hatboro, PA, just outside of Philly. They bake them fresh daily, and let me tell you, there's nothing better than a fresh baked roll. These rolls have a thicker crust and are very soft in the middle, so once our steak hits the roll, it's going to work its way into it and still be able to hold up. If you've never cut a fresh roll before, you can see I'm not cutting the entire way through them. You want to cut a pocket so that it'll hold the cheesesteak without splitting in two. Now the only thing left to do is fill up our rolls, take a few glamour shots, and dig in.
Just off the cover. So there you have it. This is the most authentic version of a Philly cheesesteak that I could muster. Although none of this comes from Philly other than the roll, that was the most important thing for this sandwich here. And I just can't wait to dig in because this thing turned out amazing. I don't even know where to start though because it's just massive. So. They're right though, that roll being like nice and crispy, like hard on the outside and soft in the middle. I mean, it just kind of holds all that in, that cheese and the steak kind of make the inner of that roll just kind of a little softer and everything like that. But as far as cheesesteaks go, I think this kid from Cannes-Pied's got it figured out. Steak's good, nice little bit of smokiness from that smoked provolone, and I mean, everything else is just phenomenal. And we're gonna wash it down with some Yards Brewing IPA from Philadelphia as well. If you get a chance, you should really make these. This is one of my favorite meals. I love making Philly cheesesteaks and pick the brains of like everybody in Philadelphia I met. And this is the creation that they helped me come up with. If you like the video, make sure to like, subscribe, even leave a comment. If you cook these up, let me know how it turned out for you. I know you can't get the roll, but if you feel like making a 5-hour trip down to Silvio's Deli in Philadelphia, you're off to a great start. And I'm gonna do a giveaway as well. As soon as I get to 100 subscribers, I'm gonna hook you guys up with like a free t-shirt and one of our shopping bags, and we'll go from there. All I have to do is comment and share and like, and you're entered to win the raffle. And as soon as I get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to draw a name out of everybody that's liked, subscribed, and enjoyed these videos. And I really appreciate y'all. Cheers. And until next week, bon appetit.